Leonard, you got some new guys on your group.
Yes.
Ricky Pearsall seems like he's such a mature guy for, compared to other rookies that you've had come out. I mean, like, it just seems like he's more polished than we've seen.
Ricky, he's done an amazing job, thus far. Coming out initially, you can tell on film right away that, he had that added, development to himself, with his personality, talking to him, and just what we saw on film. He a little bit more polished, than the normal college receiver there. So I'm enjoying where he's at. I'm enjoying working with him. I like the mentality that he came in with, ready to work, and I'm excited, going forward that way. I can get my hands on him and we can start to develop, a pretty good player.
And with Brandon Ayuk, Jawan Jennings not being here, how valuable are these extra reps that Pearsall is getting with Brock Purdy?
It's awesome. Both good and bad, I would say. Reason why is it's good for Ricky because he get a ton of reps, but it's also bad because that's two guys who, how we do things, knows how it's done the right way, and he's not able to see those guys do it. So that's that added another rep for him not to be able to learn. So, but the reps portion, it helps out a lot. The more we can rep things with him, with Jake, with Tariq, with any of the guys, the better they're gonna be at it. So, in that sense, it helps him.
What did you see? What jumped off the film when you were watching Ricky?
Yeah.
All of it. His college
days. Of course, with him, just his mentality to catch the rock. First thing I always look for is the toughness, which he's made plenty of catches over the middle of the field, and as well as his ability to separate. Like I say, he's a polished receiver that I'm going to continue to develop. But he already has that it factor, and he's only going to continue to get better.
Is what he's learning right now just getting down the offensive schemes and exactly
that is the start. That's the start, because what you see on film with him playing fast, him making the plays, catching over the middle in traffic, getting up, playing with swag, that happens once. You can go and play, you can figure out the offense, figure out the details in which we coach every route, where to be at, the time and the landmarks, the depth of everything. Yeah. It's hard to play fast when you don't know those things, because I'm still trying to learn out where I get lined up at. So once he gets that down, he's gonna be good to go.
Did BA have a similar kind of trajectory?
Everybody does, even myself. And that goes back to 2011. Every receiver in this offense is going to be that way because it is very complex. And just the details of the entire offense. Where to line up at. How deep is my route? How to run this route versus this coverage. It's a lot. And I understand that. Like I say, I was a receiver in the offense for 5 years. So just having that understanding. I know it takes a lot of time. And effort. On myself and with the player himself. As long as they put in the work, then it's gonna come.
He's been here for about 2 weeks or so.
He's been here. This the second week? Yeah. This is the second week he's been here.
Does he I know in college he would stay after practice and catch. Is he doing the same? Just putting that.
They've been here
every
since he's been here. They've been in the building from morning to evening. Putting in the work. Just trying to stay on top of it. Like myself, himself. Everybody wants it to happen overnight, but that's not going to be the case. It's going to take time to learn. It's going to take time to get a full understanding of, how to get open versus this leverage, and this defense, and even just, jumping off the rock. When it's free access, it's going to take time, but once it does click, he got the ability, to go out there and put it together and make some plays for us.
What do you like about Jacob County?
Jake, he's a heck of a player, man. What stood out on him is his toughness, his speed, his mentality to run after the catch, and he's going to be a change of pace guy for us as well. We can throw it to him down the field, we can throw it to him underneath, and he can do whatever, any different aspects to catching the ball, handing it to him, screens. He's just a good tool for us to have.
Yeah, what does he bring to, do you see how he can bring a different dimension to the offense?
Of course. You got Ayuk, 5'11", Debo is about 5'11", 6 foot, JJ, 6'2", and then you got Jacob, Ricky, 6'1", then you got Jacob right at about 5'8". So just being a smaller, quick twitch guy, fast guy who ran a 4.3, You know, we need that guy with a speed who can go over the top, you know, and still be able to run a route, you know, and that's exactly what he brings to the table. You know, he everything that we do in his offense as far as motioning to catch screens, you know, putting guys in the backfield to run jet sweeps, he does it all, you know, and again, same goes for himself and Ricky alike, you know, just being able to pick the offense up, the more they're going to be able to get out there and play fast, you know, and do it at a faster speed.
When you're watching college tape before the draft, how rare is it to find a player who runs the full route tree?
It's very rare, you know, nowadays, especially because in college ball, you know, they don't do as much as we do, you know, so it's always going to be tough, you know, so it's tough on myself, especially when I'm grading wide receivers, you know, because it's hard for me. I got to look and see the talent, the skill set that they do have rather than knocking them for the route tree. You know, now if you get, you know, a certain guy who hasn't done it and he's like a running back and you're trying to predict that he can be a receiver, now I'm like, I don't know if he can do it. You know, but when you see the talent, you see the movement skills, you see that he can use his feet, use his hands, then it's easy to project because now it's all about now getting him coached up with the right techniques.
How is Deebo Samuel going to be new and improved besides his jersey number?
Yeah, you know, we all looking, even myself, looking to improve. You know, and that goes from 1 through 100. You know, how can we go out there and be the best, you know, versions of ourselves? You know, we didn't get it done last year. You know, point blank. You know, we didn't get it done. So at the end of the day, we all need to make, you know, some improvements. That way we can help the team. You know, we can help ourselves.
Are there certain
you know,
things you're asking Deebo to do?
Of course, all the time. Every year we look at every year we graded and we try to point out certain things that we did, you know, over the season, of course, over the season that, you know, we can pinpoint. That way we can get himself better, whether it's at the line of scrimmage, you know, whether that's in the running game, stand on the blocks, you know, but that's different things that I look out, that I go in and I put together a tape for each receiver. You know, we sit down and we go over it, and we try to get better each year, you know, in what, you know, I'm telling those guys that they need to work on.
Kyle Shanahan doesn't do.
This is part of the year. This is part of the year because, one, you get more time in the off season to work at it in OTAs, you know, in phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. So this is the time you go over it right when those guys get back, so they can understand that, okay, this is time of the year I can work on it. That way now when we get in season, you know, I'm not trying to work on it then. So this is a very important time, you know, for our guys to start working on that transition, you know, for things that they struggled with in the past.
Kyle doesn't normally run with 3 wide receivers on the field. With these 2 new guys and the stable of guys that you have before, do you see that more of a possibility going forward?
I don't think the offense is going to change. The offense is going to be the offense. You know, we are predominantly going to end up in whether it's 2 tight ends or we got juice, right? 21 personnel with a fullback on the field. That's going to always be, that's the foundation of the offense. You know, and then when we get to a position where we need to have 3 receivers on the field, then we're going to do that. You know, so it's all about, again, some games we're in 21 a lot, some games we're in 11 a lot. And that's all about the advantage for us. You know, if we can have an advantage playing in 3 receivers, we'll do that. You know, and then at the end of the day, the guys got to be able to, you know, go out there and separate themselves, you know, and whoever's going to show out and see if they can handle being receiver 1, receiver 2, receiver 3, then we're going to put those guys in the best position possible.
Where is Danny Gray at in his development? What would you still like to see out of him?
Yeah, Danny, you know, just to be consistent, you know, Danny has been doing a hell of a job for us, you know, thus far. You know, since April 15th being back here, he's been busting his tail. He's been working hard, you know, but I would like for Danny just to be consistent at doing it. You know, I never question his work ethic at all. You know, it's just a matter of, you know, can he sustain it? You know, and thus far he's been doing a hell of a job. I'm impressed where he's at. I'm impressed by his mindset, how he's been out there competing. You know, and I think he has gotten better. You know, and he's just been doing everything I've asked of him to do.